1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4, 5 potato, 6 potato, 7 potato more, 8, 9. Because I kind of forgot about you guys. Been giving her. So that means I cheated on you a little bit. And yeah, this part. What do you think? Does that look a little different? You get the idea. Potatoes. I'm taking a break because I feel like we were headed into a work video and you're going, man, is this all we watch? Work videos? We're going to sneak this in between because I want you to have the experience that we're still having a little bit of fun here on the Spruce Stomper channel. So I thought as a little work video intermission, we would have a look-see at how the garage sale season has been treating Spruce Stomper, and it's been treating them pretty dang good. We're also waiting for poor old Judith to drain her guts out. If you haven't seen them, there's a few videos on the boat. Judith, as she's fondly called, she had some struggles. Somebody drove her into a rock. Legs back together, but there was a little moisture in the oil, as to be expected. That my brother-in-law pointed out, he says, you know, when you flooded it, the whole bottom exploded off the bottom of that leg, flooded with water. He says there's nooks and crannies that water probably got into up in the top end that you couldn't quite drain. So, you know, my first batch of oil I run through it probably got a little bit of that in it, I'm hoping. So we're going to drain her, drop, drain, go fishing, try again. Anyways, the Woodlands workbench, and let's see what garage sales provided us. All right, so, you know, garage sales are a pastime enjoyed by many, and me and the Mrs. Spruce Stomper, well, we're no different. We like to venture out on occasion on the weekend. Her more so than me. I'm not as dedicated, but if it's in a rural setting or an estate sale, well, I'm telling you, not that there's anything cheery about an estate sale, but you guys know what I'm saying. I thought we'd have a digging through and see. Now, this is a two-prong deal because this was a disaster this morning. I'd like to gain a little bit of space back. Oh, look at all this stuff, eh? Look at all this stuff. I can't remember what I bought. That's about it, though. Well, let's go one box at a time now that I threw this up here. Now, don't get me wrong. I love making the work video. And we're going to shove a portion of a work video right in the middle of this one. But it's a pretty long duration project. So I don't want to burn anybody out by watching you know, the same old place, even though it's a heck of a good time. Now, this was at a property. And so what I got going here is basically everything, 90% of what's in the next two boxes, I got for 50 bucks. Because, well, the guy was not fooling around. How about that? Look at that. That is solid steel. Goes right in the receiver hitch. Had a pin in it. And then what do we got here? Holy smokes. It says Canada on this shackle. Can you even believe that? What? Oh, Crosby. Crosby shackle. We got that. And I actually own a couple of these, but you can never have too many. So I'll probably put that in the old Milwaukee tote with all the other trailer accessories. Another Crosby shackle. Oh, this is a big one. What do you think, in the comments, what would you say that this is worth? This says Crosby 1, oh, it says right here, 8.5 ton. Crosby shackle, 8.5 ton. What do you figure something like that would be worth brand new to buy? Now keep in mind, we're not done. This was all part of the batch. That was 50 bucks. So we're up to 2 shackles. Here's 2 more. These are just, oh, these do not say Canada on them. These say China. So still useful for something. 2 of those, I just don't know, you know, you might not trust them as far. And this one says Crosby on it. 2-ton. 2-ton Crosby shackle. These are also 2-ton, but they're an off-brand. So I got 3 of those. And here's just a little fella, Crosby as well. 1-ton, 3/8, just a little guy. So I mean, right there, that for sure, that's got to be more than 50 bucks. Now this was just in, and I threw it in. Giant. Why do I feel like? What if we just do this? Why do I feel like I'm so far away from you? Let's check the angle of the dangle. Let's do a rearrangement. Oh, oh my God, I'll tell you, that's a million times better. felt like I was struggling to see ya. I wanna keep the togetherness feel. Tell me that isn't handy. What's it handy for? I have no idea, but it's pretty awesome. Oh well, I'll tell you, it says something on it. UK, BH Sala UK. I don't know what that means. I don't think I trust my life with it, but put her in the shackles, just put her in the tow bin with everything else. These I'm super stoked about. I thought they were LED. They're not. They're just your old run-of-the-mill halogen. Oh, I can't even get the cover off. Lights, brand spanking freaking new. Where do those go? Well, I'll tell you where they go. They're going right on the tractor. Everything's covered in oil here today. Why? Oh, like a meatball, I pulled the drain plug out of Judith over there, and well, I'll tell you, I was unprepared. She barfed her guts. Where's my head? Is my head in the shot? Surely is, because I'm not as tall as that toolbox. She barfed her guts all over the floor and a few other items, but so 2 of these are gonna go on the Kubota because I am lacking lighting on the Kubota. I think I'm missing one and one is burnt out. So these babies, we'll get them mounted probably in the forwards direction like this. There's already mounts for them. And we'll just light up my life. And this was also from the same sale. Now I picked this up, and I have yet to know what I'm gonna do with it, but this is a Pelican 1050 from the Micro Case series. Typically what I see people using them for, like cameras or cell phones. There's a couple little foamies in there. Not much use for those, but open case, watertight, it floats. These were, I looked them up on Amazon, $35, $40 for a brand new one. I mean, this is dirty, but I mean, the seal's intact, the latches still work, it's all good to go. That was in the $50 bundle. 50 bucks, okay? There's some stuff left in this tote, but we're gonna save it because that was not part of the $50 bundle. I wanna reminisce with clarity here. I'm gonna set my beverage on the sawmill edger that we saved, and it hasn't gone too far. I took most of it apart, but that's about it. Oh, and the totes were also part of the deal. The milk crate, this green tote, included in the 50 bucks. This you probably recognize from a YouTube short. It is actually called The Hooker. And I did a little bit of history on it. It's essentially kind of an antique from back, I think in the 30s. It is a crate building tool. So it would have been found in like a shipping and receiving department, a warehouse. And it's got all the various nail pullers and a little dunk hammer, but a tool of the trade from back in the day for something that doesn't really exist anymore. But yeah, YouTube short on that baby. Let's dig off the top here. When did I get here? The struggle is gonna be real here. You get hasty at a garage sale. I don't. I'm gonna backtrack here. Yeah, for curiosity while I'm chatting, that's an ATV winch. The story was sad a little bit. They were selling a lot of this stuff because the gentleman had passed away. So keep in mind, I didn't negotiate on any of this stuff. I just piled up a huge pile of stuff, and the old boy that was there, we got talking construction and farming. They had a berry farm, and we the bullshit in there. And I just asked him what he wanted for everything, and he told me what he wanted, and we parted ways because it was kind of a solemn thing, you know. He was selling all this because the fellow that it belonged to, he'd passed on. But if I had to gauge just by the quality of stuff that he had, that me and him and you guys, we'd probably crack a beer together and had a lot to talk about. So, does it give you a lot of hope when the winch is wrapped in black electrical tape? I don't know if it gives me much hope. Now, this is plugged in. How do we rig this? I want to test this. Let's just shelve this for a sec. I want to see if it actually works. ATV winch, to be determined. Look at this lunker. That is an RV cable, a 50-foot, 50 or 30? I don't want to be telling fibs to you guys. The great lengths I go for transparency on the channel, you know. I want to see if there's a, I'd be curious to know how long it is. It doesn't say. I'd say it's probably 30-footer. Doesn't that sound about right for an RV cable, 30-footer? Rated for 30 amps. Well, it's got the RV ends on it, but you know what I'm gonna do with it? Probably gonna rig it. It's got the plugs on it. Generator cable. Oh, and this over here, that was on a deep freeze. I think I'm just gonna sell this because I did try it. It does work. This is an emergency two-way radio. It's a emergency two-way 40-channel CB radio system that's meant to go in the pickup truck. So I'll just show you there. Cigarette lighter. It has its own antenna with a magnetic base. I did try it. So I rigged it up and with a little bit of advice from others, kind of got her familiar with it. I have no reason to have a radio. So drove through town with on just the general chit-chat channel that truckers would be using, and it worked. We could hear people and whatnot, back and forth, but the range, super smoking short. Like the antenna on it's only that long. So my understanding is that's got something to do with it. So it was fun. The idea was gonna be that we'd rig up the CB radio because the kid's grandpa, who doesn't live too far, he has a CB radio as well, and they thought it'd be cool that the kids could talk back and forth and there'd be novelty for 10 minutes or so. Though that's still the plan, but not with this one. This is pretty dang cool, but I don't really have much reason to hang on to it. It's awesome that it worked, and it's vintage, and all the pieces were there, and I think that I'm sure we could find somebody else that would get value out of it, you know, because you don't want things going to waste. Now, look at this. Best for last. The best for last. What do we have here? The Karcher K235 electric pressure washer. Now, I didn't try any of this stuff. I didn't even look in this tote. I have never taken this out of the tote. So what do we got here? Uh-oh. That's not a good sign. You know what never dawned on me? There's no wand. I might have got a little hasty on this purchase. There's no wand. How did I not notice that there wasn't a wand? The pressure washer without the wand is kind of like owning a bicycle with no wheels on it. It's not super useful. Dang. We might have to go on the old Scamazon and see if we can't order up a pressure washer wand. My wife, I just bought one actually for my wife. Funny, right after I bought this, I never tried this one. She wanted one for pressure washing patio. I bought the old Ryobi. It was on sale and it came with a deck washing thing, a bristle head. It works really good. I'm glad I got it. But I would have noticed. I don't know what this thing is. Something like that. Meguiar's Heavy Cut Cleaner Professional something. Okay, that was in there. And oh, well, that's a good snag. It's got nothing to do with the pressure washer. Brand new Ericsson 2-inch by 24-inch, 10,000 pound rated tie down strap. Come on, are you kidding me? What at Princess Auto right now, if it's not on sale, what's that worth? 18 bucks, 20 bucks maybe? So I'm not too bent that the old pressure washer. I don't want to be fiddling with that too much. You know what that is? That's the fitting off of someone's RV crap tank. Don't really have a need for that. Oh, and a hacksaw blade. Well, okay. Well, we'll just file that right in the toolbox straight away. These are garbage. We'll file those under G. Holy snikes. Okay, come on. There you go. and then a heavy duty, proper extension cord, male and female. And if I had to guess, I don't know, probably 25 feet of solid, good extension cord. So this bin was a win. I don't know what this is. A coax cable. A coax cable for like cable television. Not really a thing anymore. I got a lot of this. Probably not gonna keep that, but I will keep this. Actually, you know where I'm gonna put that? So this is a garden hose, little short chunk garden hose end on it. I'm gonna put this in the tool trailer. Why? If you come across stuff like a pressure tank or a hot water tank, or someone's got a laundry tub and you want to stick this on the laundry tub for washing out buckets and stuff like that, that's a pretty handy item. It's even got the rubber in it still, which is usually a missing thing. So how do we test out the pressure washer? I'll go get the Ryobi one and we'll see if it fits, because I want to see if this works and I want to see if the winch works. And I just thought, what are the chances there's something easier for us to work with here on the old winch? Nothing says connections for wiring like house morettes. That's what you're going to want to see on there. Let's just get these off here, because we can just get them bared down. We can just tag them onto a battery somewhere and have a go. Oh yeah, the good old house morettes. All right, because we're resourceful, I didn't go too far to come up with a plan for this. The boat's sitting right here, and lo and behold, look at that. On the top of the boat battery, a couple of wing nuts. Real easy to manipulate that way, and I don't have to go outside into the bugs. So the old 12 volt, and then now that we got the house wiring off of it, what do you figure? Did we win or did we lose? Down, up, well, there you go. You never know how long something's gonna work for, but looks fine to me. Just ignore the fact that the whole thing's wrapped in black tape, but it works. You guys having a good time? I'm having a good time. It's nice to take a break from work, right? What were we doing? All right, pressure washer nozzle. Forgot, because we got Honda-ing instead. That was brief. Let's see if it works. No, it's not that powerful, but it does work. I wonder why it does that. I don't know much about pressure washers, but I know that's annoying. Nothing to adjust. I wonder if you take this. See, it runs continuous. Well, obviously, because it can't build pressure, but hold it. Let's do it. Hello. Work properly, please, now. It might be a mystery for another day. I mean, it works. Sort of. Well, might have to take her apart one day, someday. Or, the other option, we just give it to somebody and tell them, hey, it needs some work, because I don't really need 2 electric pressure washers. A couple of the areas of the old homestead, you know, look like they're getting a glow. Anybody remember the Great Tower of Firewood? Oh, it needs to be made great again. Firewood stacking run amok. That's too bad about that pressure washer. I reckon we can fix it. I gotta think that it just is a matter of it hits a... all I can think about is the guy that commented on the other video, a couple videos back, saying, oh, I really like the cell phone style videos. It reminds me of the, what do you say, the OG YouTube videos back in the day. So here you're getting her heavy duty, this one. There's a pressure switch. So when it meets pressure, it cuts the pump out. But whatever is doing that is bouncing off it. You know, so I'll look up the model, and I certainly you could get a manual for it or a diagram, and it's probably just a simple pressure switch of some sort. So it's just full of gunk, you know. People hook it up to all kinds of water sources, and it doesn't take much to gum up the works. Or it's electronic. Maybe it's got nothing to do with the water side of things, and just simply needs some work. You're bouncing on the trampoline. How about you? Now, I'm not that old, but I actually don't like the feeling of jumping on the trampoline. What are you doing? Having fun, I hope. Alrighty then. Now to conclude this portion of the garage sailing video, this is from my last stop. My wife was out garage sailing. She alerted me. I was out getting building materials for a job, and she said, man, you might want to stop. This one's a humdinger. So the only thing I don't have here, what happened was I was at the sale, and again, all these garage sales, you know, this one again was because somebody died, you know, so you got to be respectful. Guy was an old boy. Like, I think he said he was in his 80s, and his brother had passed away. Obviously a tradesman. A lot of the tools were kind of trades oriented. He was a plumber. So anyways, there was a lady there, must have been his daughter or something like that, helping him out. There was a few ladies and then this old boy who's obviously in charge. He had the in-charge fanny pack. He was carrying the money. And so I had a bunch of stuff gathered together. Ooh, and there's one more thing, actually. I was going to save this one as a treat, but I'm going to show you anyways. This too. I gathered a pile. What you want to do at a garage sale is you want to gather a pile of stuff together. Because if you individually negotiate, one, they're not looking at you the same because like, oh, it's a onesie twosie and they think you want to pay 25 cents for stuff. I pile up a heap. What a really good strategy is pick one item, okay? Take it to the guy. If it's that kind of vibe you're getting, that there's a little bit of negotiating room to happen. And ask them how much they want for one thing. If you pick up something like this axe head and they're like, oh, it's 15 bucks. And you're like, well, I'll tell you what, I am in the wrong location. Good luck to you. But if they're like, oh, a couple bucks or a buck or $5 or something like that, and you go, oh, okay, well, you got a good feel for the vibe, what the price is, then you do your pile. And what I like to do is I like to gather up a whole bunch of items. And then I also have in my peripheral a couple of other items that I don't really want to include yet. I want to see what they are. Those are deal sweeteners. So I had my pile. And one of the ladies comes over and she asks, I said, well, what do you want for all this stuff, you know? And she goes, oh, I don't know. How does $15 sound? And I was like, now I'm not running the garage sale. I don't know these people, but I was like, well, I guess if that's what you want for 15 bucks. I mean, I'm not going to talk myself out of my own cash. The old guy comes over, okay? Now she feels she's made a mistake because the look on my face was a reaction of like, and she's like, oh, that was not enough, right? And I was like, oh, so I'm being, you got to be honest, right? Be a stand-up guy. I'd have a drink of water there. I'm getting parched. He comes over. Well, she tells him that she said 15 bucks. Oh, this old boy comes unglued, okay? So this is where I pull it together. I got my deal sweetener pile. I got my main pile. She's already said 15 bucks, and I stop him because he's upset, right? And he should be, because he's trying to raise money to pay off, by the sounds of it, his brother left some bills behind. So I said, I'll tell you what, forget all this stuff. Let's add in these items, and we'll renegotiate. Well, his eyes lit up, right? You know. So he says, oh, I think I got a couple intruders here. Just let me finish up, okay? He says, I think he said 50 bucks. I says, I'll tell you what, 40 bucks. And then I threw in a couple other things. And then he goes, oh, no, I don't know. And I says, well, what about if we throw in the jumper cables? Because it was in a big case, and I didn't want to carry all this stuff to the truck. I want to pile it in a case. And he goes, okay, 45. And I was like, well, we were at 40. And he's like, okay, 55. He says, I said, whoa, you're going the wrong way. And he goes, no, you're going the wrong way. He says, every time you try and negotiate with me, the price is going up. So I said, whatever, old boy. Here's 45 bucks. I'll tell you what I got for 45 bucks. Big set of heavy-duty jumper cables in a case. They're already in the wife's car because this tote didn't come with it. That was part of some other deal, but the real treasures are here. And I think you'll agree with me, they're well worth the 45 bucks. This little hatchet beauty, it's actually forged. It's got a maker's mark stamped into it. I haven't really researched a bit. It's just a mass-produced, kind of like a small camping axe, but it looks to be of decent quality. So of course I snagged that. There was another loose head. Can't leave that behind. Added to the bucket of, you know, the 100 that are back there. Probably nothing gonna happen with it. That's a bathroom vanity if you're curious. I actually do try and do some work on my own house once in a while. No work was taking place. We bought the vanity because it was on clearance sale, and well, I haven't even carried it into the basement yet. Couple axes. I threw these in, right? Because when he was spiraling, and I was like, oh, well, I'll throw these into. But I mean, 12-inch spikes, tent pegs, I don't know what. Why not? You can't ever have enough hardware. It's like insurance for the long term. You need them, you got them. These will save for last. This I picked up. Look at that. Have you ever seen that before? So this, Cheney something, I gotta look it up. I looked up the company. This was a big innovation back in the day they came out with, and now it's like super common, right? If you got yourself like a stiletto or a Martinez hammer, even the mass-produced Milwaukee hammers, they all have the magnet on the back for holding the nail, so you can start the nail and dunk, flip your hammer around, dunk. This actually has 2 spring-loaded ball bearings in this notch, and that's what that's for. It's to hold the nail so you can start it. I haven't done all the dates and stuff. I was gonna do a YouTube short on it or something, or even its own video. It needs a new handle. We can rehandle it and stuff. That's always a good time. But that's a pretty specific purpose hammer. Like that's more of maybe, I don't know what you do. I never really understand why the extreme curve on that. That's something I should look into to see what dictates that, what trade. Maybe it was a finishing hammer. But anyways, thought that was neat. It's a classic kickback, an antique for sure. So we saved that from the depths. But these are, what would be the proper name for these? They're obviously not a hole saw, but Milwaukee whole hog style bits. These are actually Milwaukee brand, a few of them, and some of them are Greenlee. Now I didn't actually see these. They were in the bottom of a bin. What I was actually after is this very heavy duty extension that is actually meant for these. It's got 2 Allen key set screws. These go in. They've got the self-feeding tip. They're a little dull. Like I said, the guy was a plumber. A couple of these have seen a nail or two, but it's almost, as far as a plumbing set goes, a complete set. So I'll sharpen those. All this for 45 bucks. This, what is the diameter of this? This is a Milwaukee 2 9/16. We should look up the price of just what that is. A Milwaukee 2 9/16 whole hog bit like that. I'm gonna guess that itself is probably close to 40 bucks, if not more. I have no idea, but I feel like I got a good deal. Anyways, I hope that was a nice interlude. Now back to the work video, and we'll wrap that up. Big bulky pieces. That way they can go on the pallet forks of the Bobcat, and we don't have to muck around so much. Now we're talking. How many pieces should we do this thing, you think? Gotta save the raspberry bushes. You gotta save the raspberries. Sledgehammer. I'm gonna try new, where we push the stop button a way less times, and we just film continuous. And see, that turns out to be a wild mistake, like that. And well, maybe it'll make my editing easier. I doubt it. I doubt it. It's only the cell phone footage I struggle with. Don't touch the roof. No problem. But now see that I gotta do this all the time. Adjusting stuff. You can't see what I'm doing. You can hear what I'm talking about. For any of you that are curious, this actually just used to be an open porch, so we're really just reverting it back to its natural state at the moment. Remember that game? What is it? Under something? Oh, underduck on the swing. You're getting pushed. Underduck me, underduck, and they push and they. I'm not gonna do that here, but you get what I'm saying. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's got electrical in it. Ooh, electrical. Shocking. Get it. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. How are we going to get that shit out of there? I don't know. All right, we had to revisit the electrical plan. It proved to be in the way. Right? The safety stick. Oh, you can't trust that. Well, see that? Red, danger. Green, oh, no danger. So let's you thought I was gonna zap, didn't you? No, of course not. That'll do something. It's a very technical term for what we're doing here. It's a delicate procedure called de-porching, and well, it's not as anybody can do it. I'm mildly qualified. How's that? I'll put you in the shade. Take a load off. Where are we going next? Well, this has power in it, so let's not get cute with that. When there's electrical, you want a finesse tool. We'll pop that off the hammer. You see what we're getting at here. You cut the wire free, and well, that gives the electrician something to worry about tomorrow. There you go. There you go. Well, like I said, somebody in the comment section, they said, oh, we like it better, the cell phone video style, old school YouTube. Well, you get what you asked for. How big a piece can we take out here? Oh, all of it. Nothing out there. You guys are missing the best shot at all here. It's almost too good, man. It's almost too good. Oh, that's I might have bit off a little more than I could chew here. It's on the dang electrical wire, so I'll have to do something about that. See, what you do is you just cut on either side of it, and then you can snap it out without wrecking something. It'd be ideal. Like that. Need a couple more precision tools like this. That works every time. Oh, how does he do it? I might have got too much sun today. How could that be? You've been undercover all day. Oh, just lost my marbles then, I guess. It's definitely the opposite of enclosed now. And look, I even put the old door back in a different hole for temporary keepsake to keep the bugs out. You guys see me checking for nails there? Always mind the chainsaw chain. It's got these last little sidewall sections here. Always do the pre-check for wires. I want to cut them off early. I think we're running out of battery power here. You guys ever seen the kids show Rock-a-Doodle-Doo? If you haven't, you should look it up. It's a good one for you to watch with your kids. But there's a scene where they be, classic good guy, bad guys scenario, and they're being chased by they're trying to get away from the bad guys, I think. Anyways, and there's this bird, and he's hugging a piece of lasagna, and but their flashlight, they got a flashlight, so it's keeping them alive, and they're singing, batteries, batteries, we're running out of batteries. So whenever I go, oh, I got a dead battery, boop, that movie engages, and simple mind, I guess. Silicone, right? The just like the drywall relief that I showed you inside in the last video in this series. If you haven't watched it, come on, get together. Just like the drywall return in the end of the log, samesies, but this one's been filled full of silicone, and then not a bad idea. Keep all the bugs out, right? We'll just chainsaw that relief back in when we reframe, because this is where we're going from 2x4 to 2x6 wall, more R value. And